Strachan leaves and Big Mowbray comes in, sent on loan to Reading, was it? How did that come about?
This is when I probably was getting agitated. When Mowbray came in, I wanted to play.
What age were you then?
20, 21.
Right. I was still quite young, man.
Yeah. And I went down, like the first day of that season, I was the captain.
Oh, yeah.
I was in Aberdeen, yeah.
Was it? Huh?
We won 3-1. And then he left me out because we'd Arsenal in the Champions League qualifier in the midweek, and he said, "This is a £50 million game, I need to go with experience." And I was raging. I was obviously angry. I took it well, obviously I got on with it, but I was angry. And Gary Caldwell had an absolute beast. He had to get whipped off in the second leg at half time because he was going to get sent off. I don't know how he hadn't been sent off. I captained he gave me the armband for the second half. So he obviously taught a lot of me, and I should have accepted being a squad player, and I think I would have played games and just backed myself rather than insisting. So I literally went into Peter Lawwell's office, signed a 3-year contract, and then literally 10 seconds later signed a contract with Reading just to go for 6 months, and that was obviously with Brendan Rodgers, which was great as well, but I should never have been going on loan.
Did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy it?
No, it was terrible. It was terrible because I wasn't ready to go on loan. I was still a young lad learning, and when I went to Reading, you're taken on loan. I'd imagine my wages would have been decent enough for a championship. I was there they were calling me an experienced centre back. They brought me in as 21, and I was expected to control things from the back. I wasn't ready, and it didn't go too well. Obviously, I enjoyed working with Brendan Rodgers. The club's a fantastic club, but it didn't work out, and it was a pity, I suppose, but it was down to myself that I should never have gone on.
So you come back to a different Celtic side after you came back for Reading. There's a lot of departures and arrivals on loan, I think, in the transfer window. You're made captain again.
Yeah.
Played a lot more, but from your perspective, what went wrong with?
It was the worst Celtic team I've come across.
Was it?
Yeah.
Due to what?
Poor players. Loans. I don't agree with loans for a club like Celtic.
No.
There's very
unless
very,
it's like a Bellamy or a Robbie Keane.
Yeah. Or even you've seen Patrick Roberts do alright, but that was 18 months long. It's basically like
you've signed
them. You can't have loan players. There's too much baggage with a team like Celtic, and then obviously we were struggling. We had twice after we obviously defeated Ross County in the semi-final of the Cup. That wasn't under Mowbray. And St Mirren, the game we got sacked. I think it was 1,000 fans waiting for us outside the stadium when we got back, and I understood that and I empathised with it, but I was strong enough to deal with it as well. You're a loan player.
You're not caring, no, you're going back to the club,
like people like Edson Bradfield, I have no time for the guy. Came from Bayern Munich.
Why just arrogant?
Arrogant, yeah, and he was a decent player, and I think it was that summer he played in the World Cup final, so I showed him. But people like that just weren't good enough, and they shouldn't have been there. And I understood why Tony Mowbray probably just trying to bring in players. There's obviously a budget to work within. You're bringing in a player from Bayern Munich, but you can't bring in loan players unless it's as I said, a free case.
So do you think it was all the players, or was there stuff that Mowbray done that you didn't?
Mowbray, you need to remember, he started the season on fire. I think he maybe underestimated the league a little bit, but no, Mowbray was a very good coach. Him
and Vino would contradict themselves quite a lot.
Yeah, the chemistry between them always found a bit strange. Peter Grant as well, all really good guys and good coaches in their own right, but probably a little bit single-minded that they didn't work, and so that was probably a problem. But when I look at the team, I don't think it was the manager, and we didn't have good enough players, we didn't have big enough players, and Neil Lennon knew that and changed that straight away.
So you go on loan to Ipswich under Keane. You obviously played when he was up here.
Yeah, I didn't play with him, but trained. We would have trained with
him.
Yeah.
Some man, wasn't he?
Yeah, the aura he had around him. When you went into the gym and he was there, you watched what he did.
You were actually scared of him, weren't
you? Mark Wilson was one of the Keane. Mark Wilson, he's like quiet as a mouse. And for some reason, he didn't. Yeah. So I think it was one of the first training sessions. Keane as he's got the ball, Mark Wilson sprinted into pressing, but went to put the brakes on, slipped, absolutely cleaned them out, and he's obviously panicked. He's like, so, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. Keane's like, it's not a problem, mate. Don't worry about it. 5 minutes later, Willow got the ball, passed it, and 10 minutes after, Keane hit him like an absolute train and put him up in the air. He just had an aura, I suppose. So he came into the club and he didn't lift weights, he boxed, did a lot of boxing.
His body fat was at 5%.
Yeah, 3 weeks later the whole club's boxing.
The thing I liked about him, Tommy, it wasn't just young boys you would get on. You would get on everyone, all the big boys as well, innit?
Alan Thompson been pushed out of the first team squad, so he trained with us in the reserves a lot. And Alan Thompson obviously was a big hitter, if you like. So when he was good in the reserves, I have to say, Alan Thompson. But when Roy Keane when he was getting his fitness up, trained with us, and he started going through Alan Thompson, which was awkward because Alan Thompson to us was obviously a bit of a legend at the club. But yeah, you're right. He didn't hold back. He didn't care who less who it was.
And was he the same as a manager when you were doing that?
Yeah, he was different than what I thought he'd be. He was quite pragmatic. He understood the championship. He understood the standard of players he had.
Because I think he'd won the league with Sunderland before that, hadn't he?
Yeah, with a much better squad and budget than Ipswich. But Ipswich, he spent a few quid at Ipswich. But the championship's relentless. It's a tough league. You look at it now, it hasn't changed. It's a very, very tough league. And he was a good manager. He certainly had.
Would he crack it?
He had in his locker. Like it's the longest I've ever been in a dressing room after a game.
He's just slotting everyone in?
Yeah, he could go on tangents. That was his thing. If he lost everyone could get it. I mean, everyone that's not even there. Like people were getting mentioned that he played with 10 years previously. One of the lads, I remember, didn't head a ball. Like he chickened out of a header. I'm sure it was John O'Shea. He like muttering under his breath. His name is John O'Shea. People are like, what's he on about? John O'Shea must have chickened out of a header about 10 years ago or something, and he's raging with him still. But yeah, no, he was a good manager. He was very clued in terms of, like, I would have thought like sports science, he'd be no interest in it, but he did. He was massive into modern day football, and I actually think I quite liked him as a manager. It was just disappointing it didn't go that well, but the championship doesn't go well.
Can fail in the championship.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
And then Leeds as well, how was it? It's a massive club, Leeds, isn't it?
Leeds was the best loan spell and the biggest club, and it was the one that I would liken to Celtic the most. Is that why you think you done well at Leeds? Because it was similar to Celtic? Yeah, possibly, but Reading, obviously, as I said, I was too young. Ipswich, I played left back for the whole season.
Graveyard shift that like back in it.
Chasing wingers in that championship. And so Leeds was the first time I played centre back. So I think that was obviously a big part of it. But yeah, what a club. Fans are relentless there as well. People talk about the Leeds fans, Celtic fans being the best fans. They're the most demanding fans. So when it's going wrong, you need to be strong-minded, and the Leeds were certainly in that. And they were a club that for years have expected to be back in the Premier League, when they'd no chance with the ownership and the way the club is looked after. And now they seem to be getting slightly back on track. But what a club, a fantastic club.